Hello everyone, Nishant here from Learn QA Skill. In today's video, we are going to learn about what is the test scenario, what is the test case, what are the different contents available as a test case document, and one sample test case document. So let's first discuss about the what is test scenario and what is test case. So test scenario is a one-line summary. We can say that a test scenario is what to be tested, and what is the test case? Test case is a how to be tested. Means test case is a step-by-step process to test the scenario. Okay, for example, here is a one test scenario. Check the functionality of login button. Okay, so this is the test scenario. This is the one-line summary. So we have to check the functionality of login button. Then what are the different test cases we can create for this test scenario? So first test case will be click on the login button without entering the username and password. And the second test case is click on the button after entering only the username. And the third test case will be click on the login button after entering the wrong username and the wrong password. So these are the steps or test cases to test that particular scenario. Then next topic is a test case contents. So as we already seen, test case is a step-by-step process or action to validate the particular feature or functionality of a software application. Okay, so what are the different contents are there in the test case template? So first is a test case ID, which is some unique number to your each test case. Then test case title, then the description about your test case, then the precondition if there is any, then the priority for the test case, then the requirement id it's related to requirement document if you are following any requirement document to write the test cases. Okay, so that requirement id or the requirement document we have to refer over here, that we have to mention over here. Then next is the steps or action, then the next will be the expected result. So if you performing any action, so according to your requirement document, what should be expected result, so that should be mentioned over in this section or in this column. Then the actual result means whenever you are executing your test cases, so what will be the result is coming when you are following this process, or when you are executing your steps or action, so what is the result coming at that time, or what is the behavior of an application at that time while executing your test cases. So that is your actual result at the time of execution your test cases, how your application is behaving, how your application is giving output based on your action. So that is your actual result. Then the next one is a test data. So the details which we have to provide to the application, or we have to enter in the application, so that is called test data. Now we will see about the sample test case template or sample test case document, how it look like. Okay, so first the project name will be there. For this example we are taking a Google email as a project. Okay, next the module name will be there. So in that project, for which module you are writing the test cases, so that module name will be there. So for this project we are taking the module as a login module. Okay, then the document reference, if you are referring any document for writing the test cases like requirement document or any BRS SRS document or use cases, so that document will be mentioned over here, or you can write that document name, you can write over here. Then next is the author means who is creating the test cases, or who is the person that writing the test cases, and the created date, at which date he is creating or she is creating the test case. Then the review by, so whoever the person which is reviewing your test cases, that person name will be given over here, or you can write over here. Then the review date, at what date he is reviewing. Then the approved by, the person who is approving your test cases, that person name will be here. Then the approved date, So at what date he has approved or she has approved your test case, and this is our main test case document. Okay, so in this first column will be test case ID. So this is the unique ID for each test case. The next column is a test scenario. In this column, test scenario will be written. So in this case, verify the login of Gmail. This is the test scenario. And the next is a test case description. So in this column, the description for your test case will be mentioned over here. So for this example, enter a valid username and valid password. So this is the description. And next column will be precondition. To check the Gmail login functionality, we need first the valid user account or valid Gmail account to test this condition. So this work as a precondition for this test case. Then the next column will be test step. So in this column, step by step process will be there to test the scenario. So for this, first step will be enter the username, and second step will be enter the password. Then third step will be click on the login button. So this is the step we have to follow for this scenario. Okay, then next column will be the test data. So test data will be the values or the data we have to enter into the application while executing the test cases. So here you have to need one valid Gmail account, and for that valid Gmail account you need one username and password, so that we can consider as a test data. So that test data we have to mention over here. So whoever person, so while executing the test cases, he or she can enter this test data into the application and check the behavior of an application and the expected result. If the username and password is valid, then what will be the expected result as per the requirement? So user should be successfully logged into the Gmail account and the Gmail inbox is a shown. So that is the expected result. And next column is a actual result column. So this will be the blank. So this will be updated when you are executing our test cases. So as here the expected result is mentioned over here. So when you get the application, so on that application you have to execute this test cases step by step. You have to enter the valid username and valid password and click on login button. So whatever the behavior at that time while executing this test cases on the application, so at that time we have to update this actual result section. Then next is a status, pass or fail. While executing the test cases, this expected result and actual result is matches, then we can say that that test case is a pass. If these both are not matching, then we say that that test case is fail. If that test case is fail, means that is a bug. That bug we have to report to the development team. So that is the different process. Okay, so in this video we are going to understand only the test case document and what are the content available for the test case document. And next column will be the priority. So in this section, priority will be mentioned for the test cases. For critical module in application, we give a high priority. So like this, for each module and test cases, priority will be there. Based on the priority, we execute the test cases. High priority test cases are executed first, then the medium priority test cases are executed, then the low priority test cases are executed. So this is the flow of the execution of test cases. For this scenario, I have created the 4 test cases. Okay, so scenario will be common for all the test cases, but the test case description or the test case will be different. So in the first test case, we have seen that we have to use the valid username and the valid password. And for the second test case, we are using the valid username and invalid password. And the precondition will be the same as the previous test case. We have to need the valid user Gmail account. And the steps are enter the username, which is the valid username in this case, and enter the password, which is the invalid password in this test case, and then click on the login button. The test data will be valid username and the invalid password, as we mentioned in the description column as well. And the expected result for this test case is a message: the email and password you entered doesn't match is to be displayed when the username is valid and password is invalid. So this should be expected result as per the requirement. So while executing the test cases, the application should behave as expected. then we have to update that result in the actual result section. If both are matches, then we can say that that test case is a pass. Then the third test case will be, we have to enter the invalid username and valid password and then check the behavior of an application. So precondition will be the same in this section as well. The test step will be the same. Only the changes, we have to change the input data. In this section, we have to enter the invalid username and valid password. So in this case as well, the error message should be displayed. The same should be displayed while executing the test cases on a software application. So based on that, we can say that the particular test case has a pass or fail. Then the fourth and last test case is, we have to enter the invalid username and invalid password. So precondition will be the same for this test case as well. The steps will be the same, only we have to change the test data. So in this test case, we have to enter the invalid username and the invalid password and then check the behavior of an application. So in this case as well, the error message should be displayed like the email and password you have entered don't match. So this error message should be displayed. So same should be displayed while executing the test cases. If the expected and actual result is matching, then the status column will be updated as a pass. So these are the 4 test cases I have created for this scenario. So this is our test case document look like. The actual result and the status column will be updated at the time of executing the test cases. So this is all about the test case document.